So I was at the University of Alberta at Campus Saint-Jean in a theater analysis class with Dr. Roger Perrin. And I remember reading Les Feluettes, Lilies, and at some point, about not even a third of the way into the play, I realized that this was a gay love story. And it was like a lightning bolt went through my heart because I'm like, oh my God, that could be me. And I wasn't even at the self-identification stage yet. And so I devoured the whole play. It was the first time that I realized how playwrights actually structure plays, where you start at 3, maybe you go to 4, and then you go back to 2, and then you go up to 7, and you layer the drama so that you can actually create the different tensions. But for me, it was fundamentally a love story and a tragedy, all wrapped in one, as I was, really struggling with who I was as a person. And so it was fundamentally important in my own development and self-identification. And unless I'd taken that course, there's no way that I would have ever come across Lilies. Les Feluettes is a love story. It's a drama. It also really dives into the amount of control that the Catholic Church had over French Canadian society, and from the 1700s all the way through until the 1960s. It also tells about forbidden love and the societal values that prevailed at the time. And it's a really important coming of age piece, not just for individuals, but also for Francophone theatre and for French Canadian expression and artistic development, not just in Quebec, but around, from coast to coast to coast. So from my perspective, it is a very strong legacy. I know that as soon as I saw Les Feluettes on the big screen, I was captivated. And when I learned that it was going to be an opera, I'm like, I'm supremely thrilled that this is being taken on by Edmonton Opera, and so just really proud and supportive of everything that Edmonton Opera is doing to bring this critical piece of Canadian drama to the operatic stage. When we see people of diversity of any kind, when we see persons with disabilities, when we see queer people of color, when we see two-spirited people on the big screen, on stage, in positions of leadership, it reminds and reinforces us that we have a diverse society and that we're stronger because of our diversity, not in spite of it. And so we need to see people from our communities on the big screen, on stage, in operas, because it reminds everybody that we are here and we're part of society. And I think LGBTQ representation is critical in the arts because it saves lives. I know that when I came back from Oxford, still deeply in the closet, Will and Grace was on TV, and we had politicians mostly in the US that had come out, and for the first time in my life, I could realize that I could be who I wanted to be, but wasn't allowing myself to be because there were these other role models and these other expressions of who we are. I mean, I remember a generation when people said, oh, Liberace is just expressive. Oh, come on. I mean, that's not who Liberace was. And so we need people who are not only gay or lesbian or trans, but openly so, to let people know what they've come through and who they are. And that expression through the arts is critical because it pushes people to reflect on who we are as a society, but also who we are as individuals. And it allows us to equip our allies by having our stories told on the operatic stage.